Hey, what's going on, everybody? We're back with our BKFC Reddit Ask Me Anything. We're joined by the man himself, King Kai. How you doing, sir?
Doing great today, man. Always a pleasure being on here. It's always a fun to hear what people want to know.
You know, the last time we had you on, we were trying to hype a fight, and I feel like that fight was so close to being made, and then it's something else came out of left field. But now we actually get a hype a fight, and it's you versus El Gallo.
hmm Yeah, yeah. The last time I was on here, man, we had Jimmy. I'm pretty sure we were trying to hype Jimmy Rivera, and
Sure,
honestly, I still think that he's the toughest like competitor in my weight division, and I like it. It made sense that he got another fight, but I
sure.
wanted to I wanted to put him out of his misery and just get it like he can be done whenever I'm done. But I'm not looking over Brian Duran. He's a very very tough opponent, but I do think that this is a very pivotal fight. Just in the BKFC in general, so I'm so honored that I get to go to his hometown and KO him. So.
Is there any concern with the hometown advantage? Like, if it goes to a decision, is there any concern that he gets the hometown nod because he's the favorite down there?
I just don't see how a decision could rightfully go to him because I don't think it's going to be, if it goes to decision, it's not going to be in that realm
Okay.
of bad decisions. I just don't think that, just based on cardio, based on heart, based on experience alone, I just don't think he has the 5 round fight that I have. It has been a thought, but that's also why I like this whole camp has been focused on, if I do everything properly and do everything right, not only will I win a 5 round fight if I need to, but I'm gonna knock him out. So I want to knock him out.
That'd be awesome. So getting into that, like this camp, it seemed you went out of town. Like the last time we talked, you were like the big fish in the small pond, and you said you need to get outside of Montana and kind of go and be the small fish and
Yeah.
explore new training opportunities. So how's that been going for you?
Yeah, so I'm actually back in my home little studio here. I just got done with 3 weeks over in Spokane, and it was a life-changing experience, career-changing experience. Like the people I met, the people I got to, I lived at Brady Heastand's house, 2-0 UFC fighter. He's a young up-and-comer, and he fights this next following weekend. And so everything just worked out perfectly. And different is not always a bad thing.
Sure.
Different, we need different in our lives, and I have been stuck in my ways, and uh, not even for the bad. Like I know I was getting better, like I was still grinding, working my hardest, but going over there was a different animal, and I cannot wait to show uh, my improvements from taking a leap of faith, and because I've never been out of my hometown. I went to college for a semester, and COVID told us to go home, and I've been here. So yeah, what a blessing. What a blessing Spokane was. Shout out Brady Heaston. He's gonna just maul his guy next weekend. Shout out DL Training Systems. We'll get into that more. But yeah, shout out Eagle Stone Boxing Club. Coach Coral completely changed my boxing game, and I cannot wait to see what's up.
Okay, so you're a bare knuckle guy who went to an MMA gym, right? Were they picking your brain about bare knuckle? I mean, it's got to be kind of interesting for them. Like, you have to be kind of like that new cool kid in class. Like, oh, tell me about bare knuckle. Like, were they bugging you about it, or?
A little bit, not too much, because honestly, like I was in the same room as Mike Chiesa. I was in the same room as Brady Heastand. We had Michael Sear at Warrior Camp. We have Pop. Like all those guys are such high level guys that,
Sure.
in the end, it's like yeah, they had definitely did have questions, but uh, I'm striving to be on these guys' level, like and especially notoriety. So. Um, I will say, being over in Spokane, my phone was instead of picking my brain, it was more or less there is a world champion in town, and people were begging to train with me. Like people were like
That's
hitting me up
cool.
to come in. So that was really cool because like one of the reasons I left town was to make sure I had training partners, and I was a little worried because I actually left with zero plan. I had strength and conditioning planned. I had my place to stay planned. I didn't have a boxing coach planned. I didn't have nothing planned, but everything happens for a reason, and I like God told me I had to get the hell out of Great Falls, and I got out, and I met the people I was supposed to meet, and the conversations, the learning, the everything in that umbrella was amazing over in Spokane.
Okay, so you're about 2 weeks out from your fight. Can you tell us what the next 2 weeks is going to look like to you?
Yeah, so we got the next 2 weeks is going to be a grind on the weight cut a little bit, but I mean I'm in a really good spot right now. First time using a nutritionist, first time using, and we're about to start our weight cut process, which is 10 days out. That's 2 days away. There's that, and then right now I'm just tidying up. I'm dropping my weight so I get lighter because the lighter I am, the faster I am, and I don't want to water cut that much weight. I'd rather just lose as much of it as possible with the diet. But really, it's a mindset. I fly out Sunday, so we're a week out, less than a week out from flying out. I fly out early Sunday, so
Right.
uh, it's going to be very, very fast paced. But in the end, I have a private little training center, training room at my coach's house. It has everything that I need in it, so I'm going to isolate in there. And it's me against the world, and I truly believe that. So nose to the grindstone. The work isn't over yet.
Okay, so this training camp, have you changed up anything? Have you added anything? Have you like you've looked dominant in every one of your fights so far, so I don't know, like, is there anything to add or is there anything to take away? Like, what have you done?
Well, you have to constantly evolve. That's what people don't understand in the sport. And not only that, I'm only 23. I just started boxing whenever I was 21. I have so much to learn that I honestly went to just regular boxing classes. I was utilizing boxing into my clinch. I really don't want to, like, I love clinching and it kind of magically comes out. I don't train my clinch. I don't train it. I don't need to. Like, none of these guys are like, fuck that. But I did this time start adding clinching into sparring because it is who I am. And in the end, I do want to get those flashy knockouts, which come uh, from the outside. But in the end, it's my job to win fights and break people. Break people honestly comes before winning. I'd rather, like, I have competed against people and lost, but it's like I got the gratification of breaking them and like taking a piece of their soul. So yeah, and the biggest change to my fight game has been my mindset with Mindset Mike. Mindset Mike, the unfair advantage has been. I'm actually in my second cohort. We did I did the first one kind of right before camp, dwindling into camp, and then I just started another one Wednesday, and then another one. It's 2 sessions a week, and just what I've learned journaling. I've journaled quite a bit, practicing gratitude. I No stone has been left unturned for this fight. Like, I am mentally, physically, everything in the best shape of my life. I'm in a very, very good autopilot, cruise control, if you
Okay.
will. A lot less roller coasters this go around. I have mentally been a head case, not really out there, but like personally, I've been a mental head case, struggling with mental health issues. But this camp has been I've thoroughly enjoyed this camp. I was excited to go to practice every day. I was excited to learn something new. I like, and I still don't care win, lose or draw. I'm As long as I show up and compete and be who I need to be and work what I worked on for 12 weeks of my life, I'm gonna leave the Hard Rock with a smile on my face because I have great people around me and I have tremendous work ethic and everything else will take care of itself. So
You guys are both undefeated, so someone's O has to go. Is this fight a career defining fight for you, or is it literally just another fight? I mean, like, we talked before about, fighting, Jimmy. He's got the name. Duran's got the name in BKFC, but outside BKFC, like, a lot of people
yeah.
don't know him. So do you see it as a career defining fight, or it's just another one in the books for you?
Yeah, in terms of BKFC, yes, but wins and losses will never define me, or my career. As long as I'm getting better, it doesn't matter what everybody else thinks. I do think a win here is massive, because let's just circle back to other interviews that I've done with you. Like, I'm not supposed to be a bare knuckle boxing world champion on paper.
Nope.
I'm not. That's not who I'm supposed to be. So continuously beating these guys is huge. I do think Conor McGregor being involved, Conor McGregor posting us, like all this stuff kind of does matter on paper, but to me, no, it's business as usual, and I'm just very, very grateful for the opportunity to do what I love and get paid for it, which is compete and get paid to compete. So, yeah, I'm in a great spot right now.
have you worked on your conditioning? Have you worked on your strength and conditioning or your cardio? Like what have you worked on? I mean, this has a potential if it goes long. Conditioning could play your wrestling mindset. Like you break people. That's what you do. Have you
Yeah.
worked on the cardio to improve that even more? Or
Yeah, always. So DL Training Systems, this will be my second camp with him, but I did a lot of out-season work for the first time. Before HD, he called me like 2 weeks before I got the notification of the fight, and we started working together. So we jumped right into camp. But this time I worked out season. Like this is the best off-season training I've ever gotten. My off-season was really, really worth it. I put intention to my strength and conditioning because listen, my cardio, my conditioning has always been. I honestly still think it's the best in the BKFC. I believe that. My strength, we could have worked on that. I've never been a weightlifter my entire life. I was more worried about cutting the weight and staying where I'm at. And conditioning is what I always worked on, but
sure,
combining it both with DL training systems,
I like it.
um, combining them both with DL training systems, there's just going to be a different animal. In Utah, I felt amazing. I felt incredible. I cannot wait to feel how I'm going to feel in Hollywood because I just think it's going to be a whole different beast, and I'm just feeling great. And DL training systems to the moon. Shout out Coach Dylan Lemry. You're my main dog, man. This camp would have been possible without you.
It'll be interesting because you're going to be going from excuse me, you're going to be going from elevation to sea level. So technically your cardio should be even so much better.
Yeah, and that's another thing. We saw Duran gassing out against Louis, and that was at sea level. And I mean, I think it's going to be like if it goes into those later rounds, it's going to be very similar to me and HD. HD had this confidence of coming into the mountains when only training at sea level. Duran's only been training at sea level. It's like my cardio just naturally from sleeping up here is going to be better than yours. So, and I know he's not working as hard as me because there's a difference between elite athletes and people that are doing it for social media, and I'm an elite athlete.
It did seem like there was more tension between you and HD. Like Duran, it seems like a new Duran. Like he seems like a much mellower guy. He was talking about like, oh, after this fight, I think Kai and I are gonna go smoke a blunt together. Like, like he doesn't have the animosity some as your other fight. Is that like is there anything like is it easier to prepare for somebody that you don't like, the HD like throwing negativity towards you, or like
Mhm.
it doesn't matter?
Well, the thing is Duran did throw a lot of negativity in the past. Yeah, people are saying that he's more mellow, he's calmed down, he's done this, he's done that, but in the end, he did say stuff about me, and yeah, I have loved because it's been quiet. It has been
Sure.
quiet, but sometimes part of the fun is seeing what we can say. But I think at the presser, it's gonna pop off, and they're gonna see a Duran that you haven't seen. But part of me thinks that Duran said what he needed to say to get the fight, and now he's being nice because he's backstepping. I do think that he uh, bit off more than he can chew, kind of like HD did. But on paper, HD was a very, very good fighter. On paper, people like in bare knuckle, people give Duran credit, but look who he's fought. Look at he has no AMI career. So the respect's there. And I do think that he has brought a level of fun to the sport. Just like the clips of him, just look at his hairdo, his tattoos, like all this stuff boils down to making what is going to grow BKFC. So that's my credit that I give to Duran. Outside of that, I do think that he's backstepping, and that's why we've seen a different Duran is because he got what he wished for, and sometimes what you wish for isn't what you really want. So I think that's where we're at.
So you have like new management, right? Did you end up getting a new contract? The last time I talked to you, you weren't like I don't know if you were still under contract. Is there anything new with you on that front?
Yeah, I signed a 3-fight deal. I'm with KO Reps, Jordan and Oren, and they do work with a lot of big name UFC fighters, the likes of Terrence McKinney, Kevin Holland, Macy Barber. Lot of people they work with. I'm very grateful for them. We've made some money this fight. We're gonna make
Good.
some money from sponsorships. So shout out BKFC for wanting me for 3 more fights. And I like I always said that I wanted to use BKFC as a stepping stone to like further my MMA career. But
Sure.
at this point in my life, I'm in a very good spot to say that I bleed black and gold, baby, and I'm about to become the king of the BKFC. So mark my words, June 21st, I become the homegrown king of the BKFC.
So everything goes your way on the 21st and you win. Like what's next for you? You've like basically cleaned out the division.
Exactly, and that's why I think the Rivera fight finally will make sense. I do not care what people say. Everybody loved and thought Datwin was going to beat my ass, but Datwin hasn't fought in years, and he narrowly beats. They went to a 6th round with Strauss, and
Sure.
I thought arguably Strauss. I mean, it was a close enough fight. I hate playing that game. So Rivera looked sharp against Strauss. So I think that fight happens, and then it's either that fight or I get to go try to become a 2 division champ because like you said, I cleaned the division out and there's people throwing around these names that haven't even had top 5 fights. So yeah, they might be in the top 5, but that doesn't make them a top 5 fighter. So it's after Duran, they're gonna have to clean themselves out. They're gonna have to figure out who the next contender is, and until then, the next contender is Jimmy Rivera or a second title.
Would one mean more? I mean, like the double champ. I mean, I know you're a big Conor McGregor guy. I mean, following in his footsteps, two belts. I mean, would you go up or would you go down? Like, what would your
I
plans
mean,
be?
we would sit down with my management. I would sit down with BKFC. For one, it's going to be who brings the most to the table. What is going to pay me the most?
Absolutely.
That's right now. Like I've already won my world title. Like I achieved a childhood dream of being an athletic world champion. So right now I'm fighting for financial stability, and that's what's first. So I like both divisions. If Tony Soto wins 140 the 155 belt, then count me in. I think that's a fight. Me and him are on a very good. Like we respect each other now. At
Sure.
first, he didn't really know how to feel about me, so he talked his shit, which made me talk my shit. So I think that could be a really fun fight um, to sell. But I would like that fight, and then anybody at 135. Nobody scares me at 135. So, and I could make it. I could make it. I don't know if I want to, but if in the end, like I said, money talks.
Sure. Okay, so you're big time into fishing. Like, did you get to do any fishing out there in Spokane? Like, or are you like itching to get back out there and do a little fishing before you leave? Like, what's the plan?
We're about to spend a couple different days on the boat this weekend. I did not get any fishing over in Spokane, but I got some other stuff. I got I played golf. I played
Okay.
some golf to get my outdoor because I try to get outdoors once a day during fight camp just to mentally stay sane. And life is more than fighting. And the more and being grateful for the other things outside of fighting is, I think, what is propelling my career, because I've always been so it's fight time, and now it's like, sweet, business as usual, let's get my work in and let's have fun. Like, I don't have to work a normal job. I need to be
Yeah.
using the other hours of my day to fulfill and enjoy my life.
Okay, so you're talking about enjoying life, and like I see every time I turn around, you have like a new sponsor. Like, are you like? I mean, just your success is drawing these sponsors. Your new management team, they're bringing in these guys. Is it just people see that you're a winner and they want to jump and like hook to that wagon? Like, where are all the sponsors coming from?
We've had a couple people reach out. I mean, I just signed with Death Grip Wax. Super excited. They are taking care of my mustache. I had it all done up last night. I have some oil on it right now.
Yeah.
But so that one, they kind of came to me, but I sent my manager to finalize it. It's getting too close to a fight, and I want to focus on what I need to focus on. Dude Wipes, shout out Dude Wipes. My manager brought that in, and Bucked Up. I'm officially a partner with Bucked Up.
Awesome.
For this is the first time that I'm a sponsored athlete by them, and I'm very grateful for them. I've always loved talking to their CEO, and like very grateful. So Duran's about to get bucked up. Anyway, and then the rest, I have 2 dispensaries. Silverleaf Dispensary here, that's their logo. And I have Native Grown. They are my day one. This is the best bud in the state.
Okay.
Silverleaf is the best edibles, and they have THC water. So it worked out perfectly to have two different dispensaries because I love the bud at one and I love the edibles at the other. So
Awesome.
um, so yeah, those two they like Native Grown's family. Silverleaf is becoming family, but they wanted to be a part of a winning team, and they it's the work that I put in behind closed doors that people don't understand, and to make it to the top, the other people that run a successful business, such as these dispensaries, like they know what it takes to be successful. So they see me having success from Montana. They share Montanan values. So yeah, they want to be on the winning team.
Do you see Montana bringing home any more belts? One of the people on the Reddit wanted to know if Montana will be bringing home any more belts this year.
For BKFC?
He just said, how many more belts can Montana grab in 2024? So I don't know if he's from there and he's like, like, I don't know if he's
Oh,
talking
true.
about.
In bare knuckle, I do think that we could see Sam Polk at 205 cause
Okay.
some serious trauma. His nickname is Blunt Force Trauma.
He looked
Um,
insane in his last, like,
yeah,
he fought in
he is
Canada, right?
older. Yeah, he is
Yeah,
older. He is older. But I do think that if 2024 might be tough for him because they got to put him on cards, and I don't know if he has anything ready. But
Mhm.
I think he could bring another title home. Who knows if O'Malley is going to be Marab? I hope he does. So then we both keep winning. I'm gonna fight him at one point. If he loses, actually if he loses, then loses his next couple fights, he might have to tromp on over to BKFC, even though he talks shit about it now. But I would love to offer him a fight once he loses to Marab.
The Ryzen deal, does that interest you at all? Like going to Japan and fighting those? Like, you seem like the perfect guy for that.
Yeah, I would absolutely love to, especially bringing my age, my look. I think my look over in those countries is like different,
Sure.
um, and I that absolutely interests me. And hopefully I can, maybe I'll one punch Duran and be like, "Yo, put me on that Rising card. Let's go." And but yeah, I absolutely, that's so exciting for the sport. The Asian markets are so big, and we just got to keep grinding. And I think BKFC will be sending me overseas here pretty soon. I think after this fight, I become the king of BKFC, and then at that point, everybody's gonna want to see me fight.
Okay, and then I guess my last question about the upcoming fight. Duran is usually the aggressor. You are usually the aggressor. Do you feel like you're going to out aggressive him? Like he was talking about, like he said everybody backs up when Kai comes and looks to counter. He said he plans on like just digging nose in your chest and pushing you backwards. I mean, are you preparing for that, or like you break people and so that's nothing?
Man,
You'll break him.
you don't I don't care what other people's game plans are, because like
Okay,
I don't even have one game plan. I have multiple game plans because you have to be adaptable as a fighter. And if he wants to come straight forward at me, it's like, what happens when we get to round 2, Brian? What happens when we get to round 3? We know you can't do that. You struggled getting into round 3 with Louis. Yeah, you
sure.
got your finish in the 4th, but Louis quit. But yeah, I hope he comes at me, because then it'll get to show off my new boxing footwork.
Awesome. Well, I have nothing else for you. Like, it's going to be an amazing fight. I'm disappointed I can't go. My wife and my son were like, "Oh, we met Kai in California. He was such a nice guy." So at least they got to see you. I'm excited about
That's
that.
awesome.
And then you and we got to talk some fishing stuff because we were talking about a noodling trip. So we'll see. I want to talk to
Yeah,
you about that.
I am super down. Somebody else got to stick their hand in the hole before me, because I ain't gonna catch no snapping turtle or snake. But other than that, absolutely super down to get some fishing in, and wherever it'll take us. Because yeah, I am the best fisherman in the BKFC, and I know that whatever Cowboy
Mundell.
Mundell wanted to, like, we called him out to a fishing, and I know that I'm the best because he put a stipulation on finding out who the best is. You can't put stipulations if you're the best. You just got to say, yeah, I'm the fucking best. Let's fish. Let's do it. So I know
Correct.
that I'm the best based on that.
Awesome. Is there any messages before we call it, or are you good? Or
I would just like everybody to tune in June 21st. King Kai about to become the king of the whole BKFC. I'm already the king of the featherweights, have been for the longest time. And, shout out to all my sponsors. My biggest ones, Native Grown, Silverleaf Dispensary, Sing Contracting, Dude Wipes, and Death Grip Wax. So, and everybody, do not forget to get bucked up.
I was wondering if you're
That's my
going to work that in
promo.
there. Yeah, I was
I
wondering if you're
know.
going to get it in.
They're like it literally just got finalized, so I'm happy that it got finalized like yesterday. So it's
Awesome.
a little bit weird to add it to my even though I've been saying because I've been an affiliate for a while, so I've been pimping it for a bit.
Sure.
But yeah,
Awesome, man. Well, thanks so much for your time. I appreciate it, bud.
yeah, I appreciate you. We'll talk to you really soon.